one thing that was crazy, us and Schwartz Center, one of the researchers here, we were crunching the numbers on why this defense was so great, not only in Game 1, but also over the course of the last few months. They actually have, the Mavs, the best defense in the NBA since March 7th or so. That was after the trade deadline where they're trying to bring in new pieces. It took a couple of games, but I do think Kyrie's commitment to play on that end of the floor has trickled over to other people.
And I just wonder, you remember back in Brooklyn where he said he shared with James Harden, hey, you're the point guard, I'm the shooting guard. And we all kind of said, oh, is he deferring too much? What does that really even mean? I wonder if this, the dynamic he has with Luka Doncic, is what he meant, what he was trying to get to.
Steps to that process.
And now we are seeing sort of the fruits of all that. So that's the Maverick side of all this. Let's talk a little bit here about the Minnesota Timberwolves, because I'm glad I wasn't in that film session this morning. Chris Finch, he spoke this afternoon, and let's just say he was not too fond of his team's effort here.
Yeah, I told the guys it's been a long time since I've been this disappointed in your effort, your performance, your attitude, your application, your attention to detail. It just wasn't there. Western Conference Finals started. I'm not sure if they got the memo. They got it this afternoon.
Ooh, okay. That's like, you know, when your parent says, oh, I mean, you mad at me? And they said, no, I'm just disappointed. And somehow that hurts.
It hurts even more. Truth hurts.
Game 1, it's always sort of a little bit of a feel-out game, right? Now that Minnesota has 48 minutes of tape to look at, and we just heard the tone of the film session, Brian, what adjustments can the Timberwolves make?
Yeah, so one of the big things was the Wolves played good old-fashioned elbows. I'm sorry, the Mavs played good old-fashioned elbows and boxes. That means that they basically hugged the paint and got in front of Ant Edwards and were like, if you want to come in here, you're going to have to beat 2 or 3 of us. Good luck. And Ant basically saw that and just chucked jumpers. You know, he only took 4 shots inside the paint. I know he can make outside shots, but that's what they prefer him to do. And in this game, he just wasn't aggressive. And he made some very strange passes and some very strange decisions and played to his strengths. You know what it reminded me of, and I thought about Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was on the 2011 Dallas Mavericks team that played up against the Miami Heat, the heavily favored Miami Heat in the finals, and LeBron James. And they played straight up zone. On LeBron. And they basically were like, LeBron, we don't think that you can come in here and affect us. And they also said, we don't think you can play out of the post. They had J.J. Barea. I don't want to call him little. He's taller than me. But little J.J. Barea guarding LeBron in the post. And LeBron couldn't do anything about it. They basically said, if you are a superstar, come prove it to us. And there was elements of that defensive game plan in what Jason Kidd deployed yesterday. And so you know, I'm sure what Chris Finch was showing Ant today in that film session was look at the ways that you can avoid letting them set up. Look at the ways you can defeat that, because his average shot distance last night, guys, was almost 23 feet. He is not Steph Curry. He is Ant. Ant-Man goes to the basket. I expect him to try to figure out a way to defeat that defense that the Mavs threw at him tomorrow night.
Right, only taking 2 shots at the rim is not the Anthony Edwards that we all know.
It's like
and
2
love.
dunks
a quarter. Exactly, exactly.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm a